Alright, got out of breath from doing all these videos. I like to do videos, especially on my higher price items. I feel like it's kind of least we can do as sellers, although you won't find many people that do these. I can't do them on everything. I have 6,000 plus parts. My name is Jeremy, by the way. I own a company called Highline 4x4. I'm here at Denver, Colorado. And for the most part, we see very rust-free things. All my Jeeps are straight, clean. They're driving Jeeps. We bring them in driving. So that way I can harvest every part on them. I spend a lot more on them that way. Takes me a little longer to strip the nail down, but we have a lot of good reviews and stuff. And anyway, I do videos on my bigger parts, especially parts that have a tendency to have hidden things in them. So I often see windshield frames listed on eBay, and I go like, why do they even sell that? So if they're too bad, we just scrap them. Just understand that. Any defects on them, I'm going to point out in these videos. But let's go ahead and get to it. It's an 87 and 95 compatibility on this guy. There are forums that say you can put these on CJs. This is virtually the same tub. I don't know exactly how to do that, and I don't even know where to point you to other than go to the forums like everybody else does. But I know for sure 8795, this is the dark forest green, and until I pulled the glass, which there's no glass in this, which makes them nice and light to ship, I didn't even see that it had some corrosion underneath it, but I checked it inside and out, and it's only the surface. Wire brush will clean this up nice. Down the road, if we get the chance, I might clean them up myself, but these things sell so quickly, and this one's in still very good shape. So let's go ahead and go through it, though. There are a couple things I want you to be aware of, and I'll price everything accordingly based on the condition, and any extra work you might have to put in on your end will save you on this end, cost-wise. So I do ship these FedEx ground, so it's not something that you're going to spend a ton on. So anyway, let's start at the corner here, because the first thing I noticed on this guy is it's got two bolts here, great. This one's good, but this guy here is sticking out. Now the good news is we've left enough of a nub on it that with a little bit of effort you might be able to pull that guy. If you're not able to pull it, you're going to have to drill it out. Doesn't happen super often on these if they're super clean, but this one definitely got stuck in there, and you will have to mess with that a little bit. I used to mess with them, but it's just better to save you a little bit of money, and a lot of people don't mind if they can save some money that way. It will hold with 3 fine on that, but that's your call. You know, if you want it to be perfect, you know, if you understand there's a little bit of legwork on that there. Top side though, this has never had a soft top, which is kind of a cool thing because there's no holes in the top. Normally there's those holes, people do self-tapping screws in there to hold down the soft top frameware. There is the factory holes here. Those go over your hard top, and that's okay there. And inside up through here, this corner, this is all good and solid. A little glue down in there, a little bit of paint showing down to the metal there, and it's got a little surface rust, but nothing, no holes. This is solid here. This is a nice solid there. A little chip there, and then coming around, same thing. Chips, a couple chips up here. These things are still flat face. That's how those chips happen. You probably realize that. And these marks, these wear marks, again, there's just the metal shown there, and it's got that rust color, but I assure you there's no rust there. That's the wear marks where the hard top sometimes rubs on if they don't get a good gasket on there. Nice and side channels that come down the side here. And then you got all 4 bolt holes here, so you don't have to drill anything on this side. And then coming down, we removed the gasket, so nice and solid down. Move my hand there. It's probably hard to see, but I'll have it flipped over here in a sec too. You can see it better. All solid, nothing rusty there. And then let's go to the bottom of this frame, because this is where you're going to see a lot of this. Now, I take a little pin that I got. It's kind of like a punch, and I go through these areas, make sure they're all solid. There's nothing, no cancer. There's a lot of scaling through here. Surface rust scaling is what I'm talking about. And a wire brush will strip this down to pretty much bare metal unless you have a better idea, and I'm sure there are better ideas out there. And then you just paint it, get it nice and smooth. You're not going to need any filler, body filler, or anything like that. You can tell this has never been worked on. This is another area they rust out, and there's a couple rock chips throughout this area. Again, flat face, that's just how they come. But normally you can tell if they've ever been filled down here by these lines, because these lines go away very easily when they get rusted out and people use Bondo on them. That's usually how I tell. First thing I look at on a Jeep is the nose of it, like this in the front area, because this usually is a good indicator how the rest of the Jeep's going to look. And this Jeep was actually a very clean Jeep, so little surprising that it had that there. My guess is that whoever put a windshield in it didn't put a good gasket in, got some moisture down there, because the rest of this frame is very, very good. I'd say without that scaling, this would be a 10 out of 10 frame, but it definitely has that there. And then it definitely has a little bit of surface scaling. This is flaky back here. You can see it kind of coming off there, but still pretty solid. Actually, no rust on through and through, as you've seen the video on the other side. And again, and it kind of goes throughout. Again, this is that gasket area, and this, by the looks of the windshield area, this is probably the same thing on this. Just didn't get a good gasket down here. We sell the gaskets, we remove them, by the way. These are very strict frames. There's nothing included on this frame except for the frame itself. But no accidents, no bends. And what's cool about this thing, like I said, is all the holes are factory. There's no additional holes anywhere. And Wranglers are notorious for people doing everything too. And then looking down inside this thing, really nice paint, solid paint, all hard here, no surface rust, no corrosion, no flaking, no scaling of any kind. And then the same thing here. Sorry, my video there. Okay, there we go. All the way solid, nothing there. And I understand that's probably a little hard to see. We could hold it up there and get. Now you can see that other area that on the front side. But again, going to the back looks real nice there. And then coming up, there's your roll bar extensions, and those are good holes. Don't have to drill anything there. And the same over there. So appreciate you watching my video. If you have any other questions, comments, feel free to give me a holler. 720-987-8772, 8706. Take a quick peek of the yard to give you an idea of everything else I sell. I usually do whole frames, but we're almost out of them. I got one YJ frame left. Those sell very quickly, but I get those in. So if you need a frame or a tub, we have those. And we actually sell front halves, back halves, depending on what we have available, what people are wanting. Gas tank skids, roll bars, pedals, leaf springs, fender flares, fenders. You can look. And then inside, it gets even better, because those are the smaller parts that are nearly impossible to find, and I usually have what people are looking for. And if I don't have it, I usually get it. So keep me in mind for all your Wrangler needs. Haven't got into JK's yet. We'll get into CJ's next, and then we'll just kind of work our way from there. I appreciate you taking the time and watching this video. Thank you.